Hey everyone, what is going on? So I wanted to announce the winner of the contest where you guessed what place I was going to come in. Congratulations to Francisco Villalba. I will post their name in the description down below. They guessed I would come in 27th place in the regional tournament, and I came in 27th place in the regional tournament. So if you want to post your friend code down below, I'll definitely go ahead and add you, and I won't delete you. The only way I will delete you is if you delete me. So if you delete me, then you obviously have every right to do that. And you know, I'm just messing around. I mean, I don't even want to technically congratulate anybody for this because I'm nothing special. I'm not better than anybody else. Everybody is equal in my opinion. So I don't know if I really consider it a prize in a way. But if you want to be my friend, definitely add your friend code, and this will last forever. So you could, even if you don't see this video until 3 months from now or whatever, you could still add your friend code and I will add you or whatnot. But yeah, I wish you could allow, I wish they increased the gap so I could add a lot more people. But anyway, we're battling a regional champion. We're battling JimmaBanks. Oh gosh, guys, he won regionals and he actually just beat me the first round if you watched that. So he did go ahead and clobber me. It was actually a good game. He didn't really clobber me. He beat me, but it was actually a good game. So we're going to go ahead and jump into game 2. I'm going to use my Blastoise. I like Blastoise, I like Water Gun, I like Hydro Cannon. You know, it does a lot of damage, not really to a Azumarill, but it charges relatively quick, I guess, with Water Gun. And he gets off Poliwrath, so he's going to be doing good damage to my Blastoise. So he has a favorable matchup, but again, I don't really want to switch out. We actually almost knock him out, so that's good. We're going to go ahead and use a shield against this Poliwrath. I was thinking, can I knock out Azumarill with Water Gun? But no, I wasn't able to. I'm going to block that Ice Beam because now I thought I would be able to knock him out. So I was able to, so we have some energy in the bank. So that's good for us, but you know, he has shield, so he's going to be able to block that. So we get off a Hydro Cannon now. I probably should have blocked with the Hydro Cannon before and then tried for the Ice Beam now, but that's not how things worked. He switches into Quagsire. I'm going to pull the switch into my Kingdra. We have no shields left. Not really looking great for us. We burned through our shields early on, but we do get an Outrage off against that Quagsire, and he uses his last shield. So Quagsire is another Pokemon I need to invest in so I could use. Unfortunately, I did not yet, but that's definitely something I need to do. But we bring in Charizard. Unfortunately, he's able to get off a move, which is going to be Stone Edge, and knock out Charizard. So at this point, I'm like, oh no, the regional champ is making me look bad, right? But no, we actually turn things around, so it's kind of like even, you know, for most of the video, whatnot. We were aiming for 10 games. I think we played 11, and one of us won 5, the other 6, I believe. So it's kind of even for the most part. But anyway, we have Meganium against his Azumarill. I decided not to block that just because I was curious how much Ice Beam would do to Meganium. I mean, I figured it was Ice Beam, unless if that was a Hydro Pump Azumarill, but no, I figured it was. But yeah, I knew we'd be able to survive that. So we do go ahead and use Frenzy Plants, and we do take both of his shields. Now we're going to block this Ice Beam just so we can get off another Frenzy Plant and knock out that Azumarill. So we do go ahead and take that. And that's a good Pokemon to knock out because it's a really annoying Pokemon. He brings in Beedrill. We're going to switch into Charizard and get off that Blast Burn immediately to knock out Beedrill. He brings in Meganium, so we're looking really nice at this point. Luckily it wasn't Earthquake, because if it was, that would have knocked out Charizard. So we get off a Blast Burn and we knock out Meganium. So we do go ahead and take that game. So definitely a good game. We do win that game. We do win that one. And we're going to go ahead and jump into another one against JimmaBanks. Beginning with Lapras. And by the way, guys, I will link Jimma's YouTube channel in the description down below. Any YouTuber I battle, I will link their description or their channel in the description down below. All the time. I always mention it. But yeah, he uses Poliwrath against my Lapras. We're going to go ahead and take that. And I'm going to pull the switch, save up some energy. We have Beedrill right now. Going to block this, figuring it was Ice Beam, which it was. So we do go ahead and block it. He pulls a nice switch, getting off Aerial Ace. Not doing a lot to that Fortress. A tanky Pokemon. I mean, it is neutral, but it's still a tanky Pokemon. Getting off another Aerial Ace against Fortress. So, you know, knocking it down one piece at a time. And he gets off Rock Tomb, so we're going to go ahead and block that so we can get off another Aerial Ace. I believe he blocks that. No, he doesn't. And then we're able to knock him out with fast moves. So looking okay at this point. We have Sludge Bomb and Aerial Ace ready to go. Unfortunately, we didn't get to them in time. I was trying for the Sludge Bomb. I should have went for the Aerial Ace because I'm pretty sure that would have knocked out Azumel at that point. We were going for the Sludge Bomb, but he was able to get off his charge move. So I would say that was a mistake. But anyway, we surf against Quagsire. And he's going to go ahead and get off his move, Sludge Bomb, right now, which is going to knock out Lapras. And now we have a Charizard, and he is going to be able to knock us out with Stone Edge. So, yeah, we definitely need a Quagsire. We have one. I have one. I just don't have it invested yet, but I will get one, and we will use it. But anyway, the next battle, we begin with Poliwrath. He begins with his Raichu. Not the greatest matchup for us. You can see how much that Thunder Punch does to our Poliwrath. I mean, we are weak to Electric, but he did go ahead and block that, so we did at least take a shield, so I'll definitely take that. Now, Venusaur can come in, and we can take Brick Breaks and Thunder Punches all day long, so I'm not really worried at that point. Not going to switch against his Azumarill. Wondering why he brought that in. I guess because of Ice Beam. We go ahead and use Frenzy Plant and take his last shield. So looking really good at this point using another Frenzy Plant, which is actually not going to knock out Azumarill, but we finish it up with a Vine Whip. And we're about to see what his next Pokemon is. It is that Venusaur. I guess that's why he brought in Azumarill, so he could try to knock me out with that Ice Beam, and we're going to switch into Charizard using a Dragon Claw right now, which will knock, well actually it doesn't knock it out, so he gets off a Frenzy Plant, that's okay. We do go ahead and knock him out, and now he brings in his Raichu, which Thunder Punch should be enough to knock out Charizard, but Venusaur has a Frenzy Plant ready to go, and we're able to knock it out, so we do go ahead and take that game. But yeah, these were a lot of fun. I really enjoyed battling Jimma. We haven't battled before this video, so I'm really glad to battle him. And this time we begin with Kingdra, which is a pretty good lead. As you guys know, I like Kingdra a lot. I really do. It is a frail Pokemon, but it's good. Obviously, it's not good against some Pokemon like Azumarill, but it is a good Pokemon in general. We're going to switch into Venusaur right now just to try and finish him up with Vine Whip, but he pulls a nice switch into Fortress, so perhaps I shouldn't have switched. We use Frenzy Plant right now, just doing as much damage as possible. I mean, Frenzy Plant does charge up fast, so he does resist it, but we're able to do as much damage, or trying to do as much damage as possible. Gonna go ahead and block that Rock Tomb, otherwise that would have knocked out Charizard really fast, right? So waiting to see what he has to bring in, which is going to be Quagsire. I try to pull a switch, but not able to happen. But we see that it's a Sludge Bomb. So luckily, I guess he didn't have Stone Edge ready to go. But he has a Azumarill, so I switch, but there's really nothing I could have done at this point, I guess. I mean, Blast Burn would have done a decent amount. Yeah, not really much we could do at this point. You see, we're not going to be able to knock him out. So, yeah, we were looking good until he brought in a Azumarill. So you do have to be careful about that if your opponent has an Azumarill on their team. And my Azumarill currently has Hydro Pump, but I'm going to change it back to Ice Beam. I used Hydro Pump for the regional. I'm going to switch it to Ice Beam for the Rainbow Cup, because I feel like Ice Beam is better for this cup. But we do get off a Hydro Cannon, and he's going to go ahead and block that, so I'll definitely take that. I'm going to block this because I knew I'd be able to get off another Hydro Cannon, which we do. And we're going to go ahead and not knock him out, which is fine, and then Water Gun will be able to knock him out, charging up a little bit more energy. Seeing that Azumarill, so we will switch into Venusaur right now. And he's going to go ahead and use Ice Beam. I chose not to block. I don't know. I knew I would be able to take an Ice Beam. But, you know, I didn't want him to bring in the Fortress and to just knock me out, you know, which is what happened anyway. But we bring in our Blastoise, and we use Hydro Cannon, which is going to do a lot of damage against his Fortress. And we're going to try and knock him out with Water Gun, but he actually gets the KO on us. So we bring in Electrode, and he brings back in his Azumarill. I'm thinking, I don't know if I could pull this one out. So we use Thunderbolt, he blocks. That's why I didn't think we'd be able to knock him out. I thought this would actually knock us out, but we survived that, and we're able to get off another Thunderbolt. Loving those 3 rings. We're able to knock out Azumarill, so we barely win. What was that, like 2 HP? But yeah, let's go Electrode, right? But yeah, it's just a fun Pokemon we're using. I don't think we'll use it on our finalized team, but it is a fun Pokemon. But for this match, we begin with Tentacle right now. He begins with Venusaur. He's going to go ahead and get off that Frenzy Plant. I do block this. We're neutral, but Frenzy Plant does do a lot of damage, so, you know, he actually blocks that acid spray, which is good for us. I wasn't expecting that. Maybe he was expecting sludge wave. I'm not really sure, but either way, that's good for us because we lower his defense regardless, and we're able to knock him out. Now we could use a move to either knock out Raichu or use acid spray. Now I decided to go for Hydro Pump because I knew he would be expecting acid spray, so that Hydro Pump will one-shot Raichu easily. He didn't want to block it acid spray. That's why I love Tentacle, right? You could bluff with acid spray. They know you have acid spray, but they also know you have another move like Hydro Pump or Blizzard or something, you know, and they say, I don't want to block this because it could be acid spray, and then, you know, Hydro Pump hits him in the face and knocks it out, right? But anyway, we knock out a Zoom out, and we do go ahead and take that game. So that was yet another good game. Another fantastic game, actually. And we're going to go ahead and jump into another game against Jimma using Tentacle. He uses Magneton. Now, this is why I like practicing against other people as well. I don't know if I ever faced a Legacy Magneton before. I don't know of anyone that has it, so I probably didn't. So I didn't really know what to expect against this Pokemon. Like, I didn't really know what it had. I knew it was a Legacy Pokemon. I didn't know how fast it charged up. So I was like a little bit confused going up against this Pokemon and how to respond to it. But that's good because that's how we learn, right? Anyway, we have Meganium out right now, so we're going to go ahead and block this. Magneton is a frail Pokemon, so, you know, those Frenzy Plants, and it's still doing a good amount of damage. We switch out into a Azumarill, and he's going to go ahead and pull the switch into Quagsire, which is okay. I'm going to go ahead for the Hydro Pump, hoping he would think it was a Poliwrath, and I guess that's what happened because he doesn't block, so I'm like, maybe there's a chance we could win, maybe there's a chance. We block that Sludge Bomb, and, he actually gets another one off, unfortunately, so doing a good amount of damage. We're able to still take it nicely. So his final Pokemon is Charizard, using that Poliwrath because I knew he would block it. I mean, he had to block it at that point. He's going to get off his Blast Burn, which will be enough to knock us out. And, yeah, not looking good at this point because all we have is a weak Meganium, so he's able to knock us out. So, unfortunately, if our Azumarill was healthier, we probably would have had that game, but that's okay. We jump into another one with Fortress. He uses Magneton again. So, yeah, I mean, we're doing a good amount of damage to him. I take this move. I mean, I figured it was Discharge, doing a lot of damage to us, actually. But we got off Rock Tomb. I know he resists Rock Tomb, but Rock Tomb still would have done a good amount of damage because of how frail Magneton is. So, yeah, we switch into Charizard, hoping to finish him off. Gonna go ahead and block this Discharge because we want to survive. So we do go ahead and knock out that Magneton, which is good for us. And he brings in his Azumarill. Getting off that Blast Burn, he's going to take it, of course. Still doing a decent amount of damage, but he's going to be able to knock us out. So yeah, he's in a really good position at this point. We bring in a Azumarill, so we have one that's obviously healthier, which is good for us. But he gets off Poliwrath. Yeah, I feel like you need a Azumarill in here, in this cup, just so you can counter, like, Kingdra and other Pokemon, and it's a bulky Pokemon. Azumarill is always good for the Great League, whatever a cup it's available, and it seems like it's always good, right? So we're gonna pull the switch into Fortress, knock out his Azumarill, and he's gonna bring in his Ninetales. And again, Ninetales I've never really faced before, I don't think so. I knew it had Psyshock, which is what he used. I know if it's a Legacy one, it has Flamethrower. I don't know if his is Legacy, but either way, he knocks us out. So, good game. Ninetales with Flamethrower is a Pokemon I do want to try out, but I don't know if I'll be able to get one. For this match, it's not a good matchup for us, so we pull the switch into Charizard. He pulls the switch into his Quagsire. Getting off that Blast Burn right now. I don't know, about half, right? A little less than half, so that's good for us. We block that Sludge Bomb because we don't want to take it. And getting off that Dragon Claw right now. He's going to go ahead and block that one. And I decided to use my second shield just to keep Charizard healthy because I knew he had a Fortress in the back. I didn't know what his last Pokemon was, but if it was a Grass type, we'd be in a really good position, right? So he brings in his Raichu, which is actually not a Grass type, but I knew I had to keep Charizard healthy, so we pull the switch into Venusaur. He's going to switch into Fortress, so I decided at this point just to use Frenzy Plants just to try and knock him out, or at least do as much damage as possible. Getting off another Frenzy Plant. I wasn't sure if he'd block this, but I guess he had to at that point. So he does knock out Venusaur, and now we have an Azumarill, so we're going to obviously be able to take Rock Tomb. And yeah, really good position for us at this point. It doesn't matter, we could take Rock Tomb. We're just going to knock him out with Bubble, and he's going to bring in his final Pokemon, that Raichu. Now this is going to be Thunder Punch, which will knock us out, but we have a Charizard. Now I made a mistake. I shouldn't have used Dragon Claw. I should have saved up for Blast Burn, but we're still able to get off another Dragon Claw and knock him out anyway and win the game. And yeah, so that's going to be it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, click on one of the links to check out another one of my videos that you'll probably enjoy.